So what a great video ahead. We are going to be doing all sorts of things in the garden today. The girls and I are going to be harvesting onions, which I'm so excited about. So these onion bulbs right here are super tiny. They did not develop the way that I had hoped, but we do have a batch that is really good. But instead of allowing this to take up space, I'm going to go ahead and harvest these, and then I'm going to process them because they could still be used. So I'm going to be putting these in the dehydrator to make onion powder. All of these onions, because they're starting to flop over, which means they're probably done. So you guys can go ahead and start pulling them. Any onions that you see.
Can you rip off the roots?
Nope, you can leave the roots on, but we'll sprinkle the soil off. We're going to be putting these in the dehydrator, which is cool.
Can you, like, are the leaves still edible?
Yep, the onion tops, we'll put those in there as well. We'll leave there's a lot of basil in here growing. So we'll leave that.
I was pouring it out and it was like starting to... Try raw onion? Yeah. There you go.
You got that?
No.
So these are our onion seeds. This is actually a green onion that I stuck in the garden. So this wasn't actually onion bulb. I stuck them all around the garden last year for pest control, and I'm gonna do that again because I think that it really helps. Okay, so these are kind of the biggest ones that we have, which is fine. We're gonna get these rinsed off and then cut the roots off. We are going to dehydrate the tops along with these small bulbs and then grind them up and make us some delicious seasoning. I think it's still going to be a win. So what's left primarily in this bed is a ton of basil, which I'm so happy about. Last year when the basil started to go to seed, I just started to throw those seeds everywhere, and so we have a ton of basil that is all over this bed, which I am going to be harvesting and dehydrating early because last year I waited to the end of the season to start to dehydrate our basil, but I won't do that this year. We are going to have a ton, and this is lemon balm. I don't know how that got over here, but it's over here, and it'll be dehydrated as well. So we'll go ahead and pull out anything that we see that's weeds. Like this is weeds. Yep, that's a weed. That's a weed, yep. It's a weed. If it's furry like that, it's a weed. It looks like a carrot, but it's not.
Yeah.
Look at that. It is so huge. Oh, this is mullein. It is so beautiful.
Wait, I thought it was lamb's ear.
No, it's mullein, and it's so cool.
I want to just like put my face in it.
Oh, I know, it's so soft. So we also have some onions planted behind this ginormous mullein. This mullein is massive. It is so massive and it's so beautiful. So beautiful.
I have to do sing to it to make it
sing
more
to it.
Yeah.
So here's our onion down here growing behind it. I would say that this is a pretty good bulb to say that it was hiding behind the massive mullein. Okay, so here are the onions that have actually done really, really well, and they are grown in a crate, which is so wild. I was not expecting for these onions to do the very best. I actually put them in this crate because I did not have another place for the rest of the onions to go, but it was potted up with some potting mix that I made, and I just think that that made all the difference because this soil is so soft way softer than the in-ground soil because it's potting mix. And so I just think that that had everything to do with these onions being able to grow to this size. So this is probably our biggest one right here. Let's pull it. Our first real onion that's big enough to actually slice. That's cool. That's so cool. It's like someone found a blueberry they can eat.
That someone is me.
Yes, you can. I've actually been nibbling on them as well. You can pick it.
Oh, okay.
When I find one that just blue is random and I just eat it and I'm like, oh, yum. So we have some peppers here that were overwintered. This one is small, but we actually have one that's way bigger than this. Check out this beauty. So tall. Yes, this is a pepper, and we overwintered it in the house in the laundry room, and it is doing really, really well. I'm kind of nervous because I want to transplant it, but because it's just in this pot right here. But it's already, like, it has a ton of flowers on it and it's already producing fruit. And so I don't know what to do. I may just leave this one in this pot, although I do think that it would benefit from more soil. Right now it's not showing any signs of distress, and so we might leave this one in the pot. But I do have some lantanas that were gifted to me, as well as some aloe that needs a home, a shaded home. I have some dahlias that are popping out of this grow bag that really need to go in the soil somewhere so they can live their best life. So I need to find a place for these dahlias to go. And I also have this beauty that was gifted as well. I have a sweet, sweet neighbor who loves gardening. She's primarily does like flowers and plants. And she's always like, I have a little something for you. And she drops it off for me. And I just think it's the sweetest thing. It's really because of her that I was just like, oh my goodness, I want to do so much more flowers and plants and like with landscape and not just veggies. And so I was definitely so inspired by her. She's actually the one who gave me this beautiful hydrangea right here. Pink hydrangea. Oh my goodness. And it was a teeny tiny little thing, and I stuck it right here behind the greenhouse, and it is growing so beautifully. So she gave me a couple other cuttings that I think I'm going to put back here as well. This is a piece of aloe that's growing back here. I've never grown aloe before. Something does look like it's eating it. If you have grown aloe and you have any tips on what the soil really needs in order for the plant to thrive, I would love to know. I'm just going to be setting the plants out in different areas and let the girls plant them out. So I definitely want to keep experimenting with growing in these crates because I would love to know what else loves it in here. We got onions, babe. You see how that's sand at the bottom? Let's put some compost in there first and then stick them in the ground. You see how dry that? Oh, there was like a little wormy thing on there.
Oh, that's fine.
So wet them, take them both out, wet the bottoms, and then you're gonna kind of scruff it up like this and then plant it, okay? You just take some of your compost. Yep. Make sure you cover all of those roots. Good job. So cute. cute. It is. So the kids are about to process these onions. This is what they're going to be doing. They're going to be cutting off the root of the onion, separating the bulb, making sure it's nice and cleaned up, and then separating the, what is this, the onion top as well. So it'll go from looking like this to looking like that. Okay, so there was this trick that I heard about when you are cutting onions, and I tried it last night whenever I fixed food for dinner, and it really worked. It says that if you wet a paper towel and put it next to the section where you are cutting onions, that the wetness in the paper towel will absorb the fumes of the onions, y'all. And I did not have one tear. If you did not know that, you are welcome. So they have an assembly line here. Ashlyn is taking care of the bulb. Shiloh is taking care of the roots. And Anava is taking care of the onion tops. So the girls finish up preparing the onions to be dehydrated. All of these are cleaned up. They're all clean and ready. They're cut and ready to go onto our dehydrator trays. And here are our little bulbs that are going to also be cut up and put on our trays so that we can dry them up. I'm so excited. I know this is going to be the freshest onion powder ever. Okay, so I took the biggest of our smallest bulbs and I cut them in half, and now I'm going to put these on a tray, and then I'm going to do something else with these. I was just sitting here thinking, and I was like, okay, I mean, I can dice up all of those and just split them in half and put them on here. But I was trying to think of what else I could do that's still very useful for cooking. I'm thinking I can just blend these onions up and make a cube, stick it in the freezer. So I will blend this up with a little bit of salt and some olive oil, stick it in a ice cube tray and put it in the freezer, and then it's ready for me whenever it's time to make soup. Yum. So I had enough to make 4 of these cubes, which are pretty thick. So I'm excited about this. I think this is going to be such a good option for cooking. So right now I have 3 trays full of onions. I am going to be putting some more things inside of here. I don't have to put it in all at the same time. So that is a really, really great thing as well. 4 hours.
And I'm gonna do it a little hotter than I did before. So I'm gonna do this, start this at 158, and then we're gonna see how it goes. But I know that I'm going to be harvesting some basil as well so that I can make some basil tea. You guys tell that this is like one of my favorite shots in the garden. I always show this shot right here because it is like my favorite. I just love it, and I still feel like I can't truly capture what I see. I absolutely love it. It has been a crazy hot day. I've been trying to stay hydrated out here doing all the things, but today is such a great day with all of the harvest. And I was thinking to end this video, how about we do one last harvest? Let's walk through the garden and see what else we can find. I don't know if we're gonna fill this one up or that one, but let's start with this one. This is also one of my favorite shots. I mean, is the whole garden just my favorite shot? And I walk into this south gate, I'm like, oh my goodness. And it looks so neat with having the new layer of wood chips down on the ground. It just looks so well kept and it makes me so happy. I have some lettuce that needs to be harvested because this is going to seed. So let's harvest some lettuce from this bed. What else? Some pepper we can harvest from this bed. I think the harvest is going to be grand. I'm gonna go with the bigger basket. Such a beautiful bouquet of lettuce. She's beautiful. Going back and forth. What should I do? Does anybody like this? Or is it just me? Harvest, I just want to see like the prettiest display possible. It's like choosing a plate for your dinner, you know? So I actually have more lettuce that needs to be harvested in the green stock. Filling up so quickly. You know what? I need to just make the change. This is the last time. This is the last time. Kale has definitely been one of my favorite things to grow in the green stock because nothing bothers it. It's still really, 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 really nice. The kale is on its way out, and so I'm trying to think of what I can put there to replace it. So cute.
my goodness. We have our first artesian bee tomatoes and they are ready. And these are our Chadwick cherries. Wow, that Alma is going to be such a beauty. She's beautiful already. Wow, look at this massive, what is this? This is the Kellogg's breakfast. Oh my goodness, massive. So this one right here is called Brad's Atomic Grape. Look how cool that looks. That is so cool. Berry tomatoes are starting to turn blue. I spy our very first cucumber of the season. Oh my goodness, yes. Yes! Oh my goodness. So I would say I picked the right size harvest basket. Definitely the right size. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us in the garden today. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm so happy that you choose to come here. You could spend your time anywhere and you are here with me in the garden. Take care, you guys.